All right. Do a quick check, see if everything's live. Go to my channel. We are live. Do I have audio? Little laggy. All right, cool. Sweet. YouTube's looking good. Twitch looks like it's good. Nice. Do we have audio? I think we have audio. We've got audio. And X. X was the one that was doing work. Man, with likes from Mr. Brady and Mr. Pita. Looking for those untapped markets. What's that? What is going on? Right there on the feed. How about that? Good stuff. Cool. Stream elements. Yeah, I got man, so much work to do. Got bots to set up. Got whatever. Commands. Need to set up more commands. Channel commands. Late start today. Ended up being up late last night doing some vibe coding. All right. Trying to decide what I want to share. See what's going on. Okay. Probably a quick stream again today. Missed one yesterday, unfortunately, but that's okay. Got to get back on the horse, you know. There we go. Sharing everything. Get rid of that one. And this is what I was gonna check. So, oh man, so my school stats. I missed a day completely. Missed my activities for the day, my activity goal. So let's see what this profile is. Oh, look at that gap. Nothing. I was like, I started the day and I was like, oh man, I need to get on school. My higher priority was working on the app, and then I was like, oh well, I was still in app mode. I like woke up thinking about it, so I was like, all right, I gotta keep going on this thing. I had a looming deadline, and then I was like, I'll get to school later. And then I was like, okay, and well, as long as I get to 7:00, I think at 7:00 is when the school activity timer resets because it's set to UTC, which is a little annoying. But I think it's because one of the founders is from Australia, so they're running UTC, so being a little bit I don't know, American privileged, I guess, that the time zone's not not in America, even though I think school is based out of like California. But anyway, so yeah, their system's still on UTC. So like if you don't get anything after 7:00 Central, then it counts as the next day. And so I think I ended up responding to a couple things at night, but it counted for today, not yesterday. So big activity. Well, actually, so I would have done the check yesterday. So on the 29th, I had 49 activities. So that's pretty good. I'll take that. That's creeping closer to where it probably should be. That should help the average a little bit, right? Yeah, there we go. 17, getting close to that 20 average. But big zero from yesterday, so that's going to be a problem. 0. Okay, not huge. Did it recalculate? Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have calculated with that, so bummer. All right. I think I'm going to probably prioritize. I guess I haven't gotten to work. I know I didn't work on it yesterday. I guess on Tuesday, I was trying to transcribe some of these streams because now I've got this will be my third stream from this current setup. So I have at least like 3 hours. I think the first 2 streams actually were. Oh no, I guess I streamed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So yeah, I had 3 streams. The first 2 I think were over 2-ish hours, and then the one stream was only like an hour from Tuesday. So like 5 hours of stuff to transcribe. But for some reason, I was trying to get it running on my other computer because that has an actual graphics card and this all-inclusive MacBook. I mean, it's nice, but it's not great for that. They don't have a dedicated graphics processor because I don't know, because Apple. And so for some reason, I don't know. I think I've got too many things running. I was calling I tried 2 different local Whisper services. I think the first problem was I was like I got overconfident because I was trying to run the system. I was trying to run my system. I was trying to run this bad boy, self-hosted video kit on my own machine, but it timed out when I tried to give it a 2-hour video. So it's like, all right, yeah, that's fair because that's a lot of gigs. That's a lot of gigs to try to get uploaded into one system. So so that I totally get that wouldn't work. But yeah, then I had Whisper installed locally on that machine as well. Actually, no, I guess I had another service. I ended up running the other service instead. But for some reason, it was swallowing the command. Like I let it run for 2 hours thinking it was doing something, and then turns out it wasn't doing anything. So yes, that was a bit of an issue. So once I get that system up and running, then we'll have the source. Like all I have to do is stream, and then I'll have like a bunch of stuff to hopefully run through content generation and help me come up with stuff. So that was mostly, I mean, I'm mostly kind of creating a blocker. I could do all the content, social media posting myself. But I figured like, hey, you know, I'm already this far behind. Might as well take the time to figure out something that will help streamline that a little bit. Yeah, so that was Tuesday, and then yesterday was vibing all day. I think Wave's in a pretty good spot now. The only thing is like it gets a little. I also was falling for doing a bunch of stuff on the local or on my iOS simulator, and on there the app works very well. Like it's very smooth, much better than it was. But as it gets onto my phone, once I finally got one installed on my iPhone, then I started running into some issues. Mostly, I think it's just with this logout process. I think it doesn't handle switching profiles very well. So I think it ends up like keeping the session longer than it should. So technically it signs out, but the app doesn't totally catch that. So then when you go to sign back in, either it's still hanging on to an old session, so there's a session conflict, or it will. I added, I guess, a little bit of logic so that you actually can't log in unless if there's a session involved. So like these buttons will just gray out, and you can't actually use them if there's an active session. So really, like that situation shouldn't happen. That's mostly the safeguard that when you hit the sign in button, you can't like double click and try to sign in twice. But it also, when you open the login screen and it's already disabled, it means there's a session somewhere. So something's not quite right. So anyway, I had some safeguards put in for that. So hopefully the app's in a better spot. Unfortunately, I submitted it last night for app review for iOS, but they tend to do overnight. So I thought I'd be good. I didn't submit it till like 2 a.m., but it might have been too late. So it was probably too late in the queue. And so now the app has not been approved. I was hoping to wake up this morning and it would still have been approved, or by later this morning it would have been approved, but it still said it was waiting for review. So I think at this point it's going to go into the next day queue. So tonight it should get reviewed, and then the new version will be ready to be published on the App Store, which would be a huge upgrade because like that version's way more stable. Yeah, and that was the other thing I was probably going to go over a little bit. Just that while I was vibing a little too hard, unfortunately. So actually, all right, trying to catch up on some caffeine. I just wrote about it in the school community. It'll probably be in my newsletter later. But I was vibing too hard. When I started Wave like 6 months ago, it was, what was I using? I was using Claude 3.5. And then I started off with a lot of Claude just because I was built in a cursor. And then I would use GPT. I think O1 Pro was out then. So I would use like O1 Mini, O1 High, O1 Pro, mostly my O1 High. I think I would dump some code in there to have it try to help me solve some problems. Because I definitely ran into an issue in the beginning when I wasn't really totally understanding how apps work. So I would have an issue where like my app.json, I wasn't building the app correctly. So then mostly I just spent a really long time trying to fix the splash screen just because I didn't understand how the app development process worked, like the app building packaging process worked. So I would restart the app and it would show the wrong splash screen, and then I was like, okay, keep trying to restart it. But really, it really kind of figured out that it was more of an npx kind of thing where I just needed to run a command like npx expo build. Is there anything on there? I think we're good. I submitted to the test flight, so we're good there. Yeah, basically, I needed to run, npx expo run iOS, which is different than running start. So you can do like an expo start, which just restarts the app. Run iOS will rebuild the app, and so that will then go and recreate all the files that are used when it like recompiles for iOS versus Android. It basically like runs through the whole Xcode process and creates a whole project through that. So some of those files get stored in there instead. So then when you go to restart the app, it's just using those files. So you have to like delete all of those and then rebuild the project. And sometimes you have to like delete Watchman, which is I think also kind of running networking stuff in the background. So all kinds of stuff there. So this is kind of more of the stuff I was hopefully going to get to, at least on this channel, between automating. So I think AI automation is like one part. I think that's part for running the business, and then vibe coding is the other part for developing the app and making the product. So they're both AI central. So I guess AI is really the key here. So learning to work with AI better partner with AI. So anyway, so when the app first started, I was using a lot of Claude and then some Gemini or GPT. Gemini I had heard a little bit about it, but I hadn't really tried using it yet at that point. So I hadn't really tried it too much. Mostly it seemed like just an annoying AI search results on Google that were like decent, but they're kind of annoying or kind of like in the way, and they didn't seem to be super helpful. But eventually Gemini, I think when Gemini Pro came out, 2.5, then it really kind of took the top of the leaderboard. Then I was like, all right, like I'll probably try that out. Grok 3 came out and I started using that. And those were able to help like solve some of the issues that I had been working on. They also helped me like set up the real-time chat because I wasn't actually sure how to do that, and they did help a lot there. And that stuff actually probably needs to be refactored now because I have a little bit better way to approach. But I guess like the biggest thing was, like I said, was vibing too hard. I think I was trusting a little too much in the AI to just do it, and I would make it, let it make some big sweeping changes and let it kind of just like refactor the code a lot. That's kind of why I stopped using Claude, is that it would refactor too much. It seemed like it would just kind of like randomly change a bunch of other stuff, which I didn't want it to change. So it's like out of scope. Kind of found that Gemini was better at staying on task and just fixing the stuff that I wanted to fix. Even it's a little more. It can be a little random. Definitely, sometimes we'll pick up. It'll modify like comments, like it'll add a bunch of comments to stuff or remove comments randomly. Sometimes it's like, oh, you don't need these comments anymore. So that's the only thing I've noticed, like some inconsistency there. But otherwise, like it's pretty good. It's pretty good at give it a bunch of code and then be like, okay, here's the task, and then it's pretty good at updating those files, recommending if you need new files or whatever. And then, I don't know. So I just kind of started trusting Gemini more than anything. GPT 4.1, also when that came out, I kept seeing on Twitter actually that they were talking about how GPT 4, and I guess they did the live stream, I think, where they talked about how GPT 4.1 had really been trained to follow instruction better. So that kind of became why I would actually just use that. So I'd use set cursor to automatically use GPT 4.1, not auto. 4.1, and I would have used Gemini 2.5, but it seems like it has some tough times working in cursor where it just gets stuck and it like can't find files, and I don't know what the deal is with that. So I haven't tried it in a little bit. I also haven't really tried O3 in here either. But I was trying to stay within the cost. Like I'm already paying for O3, so I didn't really want to pay twice for O3 if I'm paying for a $20 a month thing for Cursor as well. So I figured like, well, no reason to do that. Or I can just go use it in my own chat if I needed to. But yeah, 4.1 has been really good. And actually for the second time, I think I maxed out the the Cursor monthly cost for API. So they cover a good amount if you pay for it. And I actually maxed out all of the token context that I'm allowed to use for requests. So I think it was last night. No, it might have been 2 nights ago that it warned me. It's like, oh, your current pace, you're going to burn up all your tokens and max out your current subscription level by, and it was like, a couple days. It thought I was going to do it not as quickly as I did, because like a few hours later, it's like, all right, like you've reached your total usage, so you're done. So it's like, all right, yeah, I guess I have to start paying. Luckily, I don't think I'm too much over. I think when I checked last night, I was at about like $4. I did switch back to their Cursor Auto, and it's been actually pretty good lately, where I can just give it the context from Gemini. But I think it kind of goes back to like vibing too much, where I was having Gemini make like some pretty big changes, and then I would just have GPT 4.1 handle all those changes because it could handle it very well because it's good with instruction. But just like that process in itself, like, well, clearly I'm letting all of the AI do all of the coding, and I was mostly just doing like high level glances, like, yeah, that looks good. Like I wasn't even really doing too much of a thorough review. So Tuesday night was when I was like, okay, I keep having this like whack-a-mole situation where I feel like I fixed the thing, and then I've been kind of lazy. I've been using EAS, so EAS to do my builds. So basically, it's like a remote service, Expo application service, where you can just send off your Expo app and it'll build it for you, and then come back with the build. So I've been doing that because I didn't want to take the time to set up my environment to build iOS correctly. Which I probably could. Probably would take another couple days to do, and I might have to. But I think theirs is going to build a little bit faster, and just they keep everything, all the requirements and everything up to date, so I don't have to like mess with that. So, but right now I think it costs like $2 a build. I might have got it lower now. My builds were getting pretty big. I had a bunch of dead files that I did not need to have in the Wave app. So I definitely can. I cut out like 12 megabytes or something crazy because I had some filler video that I wasn't actually using. So now hopefully my build cost is actually down, but like at $2 a build, it's just like, I'm always very conscious of like, okay, I want to get this app onto my phone. I need to build it. So I'm going to have to submit it to EAS, going to have to pay $2 to get the build to go out. So that process may have to change a little bit, but anyway, so definitely felt like whack-a-mole where I would see an issue on the phone, then go make changes on the iOS simulator. Like, okay, I think I've run it through Gemini and GPT again, like look at the code, test it on iOS simulator, like, okay, this seems better, that sounds good. And then it's like, okay, I think we're ready to test on a device. So then I'd go submit to EAS to do another build, get it through test flight, get it approved, get it back on my phone, and then have an issue again. Just like, oh man. So that life cycle is going to be a bit of a problem. That needs to be probably a little bit quicker than it is. But for now, it'll work. It's fine. Especially since finally it was like, okay, I think my session and profile management is an issue. Like I fixed a ton of other stuff in the app. Like I could definitely tell that a lot of the other things were not well coded. There's way too much use state and that kind of thing. So I should probably show a little bit here. So I had this bad boy, this like massive auth context file that was a real problem because I was probably a little too aggressively trying to keep track of your status and your, have you a couple different situations where it's like, oh, we used to check if your profile was complete. And then, if your profile wasn't complete, then we would force you to go back and complete your profile. So there was too many state conditions to check that, and it was doing that a lot. And so there'd be a lot of things where like it'd be calling profile data too quickly or not enough, and it was trying to store it manually. So it sometimes would store stuff in a async storage and then call things from the async storage, and other times it'd be calling it from a different reference. So a lot of this five coded slop was a bit of an issue. And again, that was kind of started back with like Gemini and some of the, or not Gemini, Claude and some of the other earlier AI models as well. So like with time, the models have gotten better too, so that helps. So finally realized like, okay, I think the foundations for this app are like just a little rough. So time to devibe them. And so it was a little bit more focused with the query or with the prompting. And I think, I mean, Google by default has grounded search. So like it's supposed to be doing Google searches. It doesn't always come back with Google results. I mean, I think just because, if I give it a bunch of code, it's going to work within the context of the code. So I think it kind of sticks with that. But I also was like, okay, I'm actually going to go do a Perplexity search, since Perplexity really is like the Google search now, the AI internet search leader, and actually did a good chunk of the code. Like mostly, I think I took that entire auth context file and dumped it into the Perplexity search, and a couple of the other pieces to say like, okay, I think this system is bad. I think we need to fix this, and it gave me a better example. Like, yep, this is a typical, more clean, modern design for this pattern. It's like, okay, that makes more sense. And then I took that approach, and then I took, I forget if I don't think I did. I might have then taken all of the code. I'm usually kind of pretty conscious of rate limits on Gemini. I mean, mine are pretty high, I think, because I have a paid Google account. It'll let me use pretty high limit token limits. Let's see, Gemini Pro token limit. It'll let me have a pretty high context, 128,000 token context window. But what's like the per minute? Because you can use 1 million tokens, but you can only use so many per request. Yeah, it is nice. It actually provides video. So I've used that a couple times now, where I've literally taken a screen recording and been like, hey, the one I had was, I was like, oh, when I log out, I get a white flash. Like, any idea why that's happening? And and it saw that, but it was totally wrong. It was like, oh, you need to go change some stuff for your base level of your app, and it's like unloading the navigator too soon. It was like, nah, it's just some bad styling for an error conditioning, or for a no data condition. But anyway, maybe they don't do tokens per hour. I know output token limit. You can only do 65,000 pop. Oh wait, there we go. That's what I was looking for, I think, right? Pro audio. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, trying to be like, yeah, there we go. RPM. Yeah, you can only request so many tokens per minute. You can only output so many tokens per minute, and then you have only so many requests per day. So I think like requests per day, I think is totally fine. Yeah, maybe I'm in a tier 1. So okay, so you request request per minute, and I'm usually pretty slow about that because I'm doing through the browser. 250,000 tokens per minute. That's where I must be on a higher tier, because like I seem to be able to go past that. Yeah, okay. I must be on the free tier because I've got an account hooked up, but I don't actually pay for it yet. But I'm not on an API either, so maybe the browser's a little bit different. So that could be too. They're not super clear about that. But anyway, I always am conscious of how many times I take a bunch of code and then dump it into GPT. So I use something like repo prompt, where I'm just like, yep, cool. I want to take the entire Pulse project and dump it into. I'm going to copy 496,000 tokens, which is half of the limited context for that window for the entire conversation. So anyway, I ended up doing that, I think, after I did my Perplexity search, and then it's like, okay, clearly this thing is like the foundational session management for my app is wrong. Okay, here's an example of how it should work better. And then cool, let's use that. And then I took the entire project, put that into GPT, like, okay, here's the entire thing, and then gave it the simple example. I think I actually took Perplexity's response, and then I put it into a document, a markdown, so we could use it as. So we got a couple different things as far as like trying to be better, but adding some context documents, basically. So starting to create like an official like repo kind of thing. So I think the next step is a vector database kind of deal to be able to constantly have that. At the same time, it's like I sometimes the vector database feels like a little bit overkill. It's good for massive amounts, so I guess you would like vectorize your entire repo, but then with a 65,000 token limit window, tokens per minute or whatever. I mean, context window is a little bit smaller than that, but I mean, you can dump in. With if I'm not always sending in 490,000 tokens, I can send in the, however many tokens it is from byte off, which is 1,000 tokens. That's nothing to add with the rest of it. Like after I talked to GPT or Gemini about like, okay, here's all my code. How do you propose we go ahead and refactor all this? Then it outlined a plan, and I just took that plan and put it back into a markdown file, and same with contributing to kind of give guidelines for it's like, okay, here's the plan, and then here's some rules for contributing, just to then, okay, now I have a system to kind of keep Gemini a little bit more on task, or like, okay, if you're in my project, this is exactly how I want it to go. Now I think Cursor I think has some of these things set or some settings for this as well, so which I probably do need to take more advantage of as well. So like profiles, is that it? So I know you can do like, no, not profiles, settings, Cursor settings. Yeah, because I think, hang on, it's double windows bothering me. Cursor settings, you can do chat options, context. Okay. You actually can include full contents of the select folder to be included in the context. That's kind of nice. Yeah, it's true. You could do a cursor ignore. I probably need to do that too. Man, yeah, I gotta optimize my vibe code a little bit more. Suggestions while commenting. Allow tab to trigger with all in a comment region. Oh yeah, sure. Partial accepts. I haven't actually looked at this in a little bit and used it for a little while. Max mode, build at max, API pricing. Oh, well, yeah, I don't know why these are. Oh, okay. Claude 4 Opus is max only. And then you can plug in your API keys. Rules and memory. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can use custom rules. So that's probably where I should be taking advantage of that a little bit. There are a couple memory things where it started to be like, oh yeah, like user prefers, simple focused prompts or whatever. It recognized that I was using a lot of the same, like, hey, let's follow this step-by-step instruction as cleanly as possible and try not to get off track, like kind of thing. So I kind of remember that. But there we go. I was wondering about that. I was actually thinking like, man, it'd be nice if I had my my GitHub history. If I could be like, hey, like what was my last couple PRs? So it is including PRs and certs. So that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's definitely some advantage here where you can kind of set up your own preferred vibing, I suppose. So still at the early stages, I've just been kind of I don't know, cowboy vibing. Is that it? Is that what we would call this? Configuration environment. Oh yeah, I think I did set it up. I tried to set it up to hook up to Supabase, which apparently it's gone now. Oh, maybe it's only by project, so maybe it's not for this one. So anyway, so yeah, so it was quite an adventure. Still a little sleep deprived after a long stretch. That's why I'm sitting here rambling for a little while. But it was good. It was good learning. Well, and that was the other thing too. Is like I think I kind of missed the other core component of vibe coding, that I was vibing a little too much. I forgot to actually play engineer. So it's amazing how when I stopped and started looking at some of the stuff and learning, like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. Like we should be doing that instead. It started to click a lot more. So I was a little too trusting with the AI for sure. I mean, the problem is like it's usually pretty right. Like it's usually pretty solid. So and it's usually good. Unfortunately, it's very good at just working within the context that you give it. So if you provided all of your code and like, hey, fix the bug, it will fix the bug. It'll tell you like, here's, based on what you've given me, like this is probably what you should do. But I mean, and I was saying Altman has talked about this before. I mean, it's starting to get there, but nice, best views. Starting to get there as far as the AI acting more like a senior engineer and more like an advisor, where it, rather than just like doing what it's told, where you're like, here is a bunch of code, and rather than telling you like, oh, that code is like really bad, we should probably fix that, it just kind of goes with it. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, you want me to fix that thing, like let's fix that thing. So, and I could see how like that wouldn't always be useful. Like you wouldn't want it to always be outright fighting you. So that's probably more of a product design than anything, that you want it to just like, hey, do what I told you to do, and be like, okay. So maybe you need like an option to be like, okay, tell me what's wrong here. And it's ultimately where I ended up, where I was like, okay, I think all of this code is wrong. Like we need to change it and we need to refactor it. Then it's like, oh, cool, yeah, no, this is all bad. Like we should do this instead. So that's definitely part of it. Back to, I guess, like the context aspect of it is more important. That you need to give it proper context, and then it's going to work a lot better towards what you want. So rather than to just freely vibing, which I was going to say, which is also topical with this whole T app thing, which I haven't really looked too much into it, but some of that seems like it's vibe coded. Some of that just seems like it's probably just, I don't know, dumb configuration. Like if you apparently like you have to go through a lot of work to make a storage bucket completely private, or it sounds like an entire database, like completely open, rather completely public. So even, I mean, AI is usually pretty good at that. It even kind of chatted with me a little bit about some stuff where it's like, oh, you probably shouldn't be using that. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's close. Can almost completely have AI as your co-pilot, but not yet. It's probably going to take a few different AI still, which I actually have a workflow for. Do I have? I haven't done a video on it yet, but it'd be a fun one. I don't know if my self-hosted is running right now. I think I shut it off to do the self-hosted kit instead. Is it still running? Oh man. Oh no, wait, I killed it. Okay, cool. Let's do Docker system prune. Let's get rid of the. Okay, cool. Claim a little bit of space. So if I do start init in. Uh-oh, still running. All right. My self-hosted kit must still be out there. Yeah. Stop. Now you good? Hey, there we go. And I'm going to double check real quick. I think we can. Oh, not that. There we go. All right. I don't think I have anything on here. I just want to make sure my login works. There we go. Nice. Wrong screen. There we go. All right. So I have got a bunch of stuff, but Maybe it's not on here. Maybe I did. Oh, it might be on my actual account. All right, let's jump over that one. Is this localhost? That's localhost. So many anidens. How's this bad boy doing? Oh, also, I need to get a video done for this one and get that to the guy in my group. Overview. So yeah, the Council of Reeds. This is the one that I wanted to. It might be worth throwing some money at. So this is a very optimistic system where I was like, I want to be able to chat with all of these AIs. I want to be able to, rather than just having to rely on one, kind of have them all collectively come up with a system or whatever, collectively have a system that talks to all of them, and then they all get their own answers, and then something then consolidates the answer and then comes back with like, okay, here's like a general summarized response. So that was kind of the goal. So I was kind of setting up a thing where it's just like, I can just go through Telegram and just message whichever one. So I could message, OpenAI, or how did I have it set up? I had basically each model. So yeah, you can do 4.5, 01 Pro at the time, because I think 03 wasn't even out yet. That one. Oh yeah. I haven't used this one in a minute. So I guess just maybe at was like for all of them, at tech, and then I could pick between a couple different groups, right? And then so GPT 4.1 directly, Gemini Pro directly, 03 directly, 04 Mini, and then summarize. So like, hey, here's a question. So I think that was the last one. Summarize. Summarize will be like, hey, here's the question. It would send that prompt to this, this, and this. So I think it's 03. The 03 model, GPT 4.5 preview. That one I needed to take out because that one's like crazy expensive. 03 is actually really cheap now, and actually so is what's this one? This is 04 Mini. Yeah, for some reason 04 Mini was like weird. But yeah, you've been added for my council. Here's the question, and then it would take all those answers, aggregate them into one answer, and then I would finally funnel it into, I think, Gemini. Yeah, I just send it to Gemini, and then be like, hey, you're the leader. Here's everybody's input. Here are the responses, or here's the question. Here's everybody's input. Give me the final answer, and then it would come back and then be like, okay, I've read all the responses from the other AIs. Here's the final response from me. So again, I think the pricing for that was going to be a little bit high. So that was my only concern. So it might be worth it though. It might be worth the cost to do that. There's my super base. Hopefully nothing too fancy there. So now I'm curious, yeah, because I think I ran it a couple times just out of curiosity to see how much it would run me, and it wasn't bad. I think again, like, I don't want to print. OpenAI price model pricing. Oh no, I don't want. Hey, right, nice. Zendesk, Asana, Shopify, Klarna, crazy. Platform pricing. There we go. Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, so $2 a mil is pretty good for GPT 4.1. That that was why I was like, oh, I should not be using 4.5 because $75 is insane. So per million tokens, that's a lot. That adds up real fast. So that was like, okay, that one's got to be out. We can't have that one in that group. Can't be calling that all the time. I think they finally opened it. So yeah, there's an 03 Pro now, which did not exist actually when I was running that earlier. So I probably would throw that instead. But now, they don't have the agent wouldn't be AI agent stuff wouldn't be on here yet, right? Deep research though, that would probably be the place to start, I guess. Actually, now that I think about it, let's have like a deep research go through and do that, then have the AIs review that deep research and come back with an answer. That'd be a nice flow. I don't think I set up Perplexity actually either. I had Claude, I think, at one point, but I don't think I added Claude either. But yeah, basically, like, there's all these AIs, and I mean, I guess ultimately they're going to give you, a pretty averaged answer on things because they're all basically the average of all the internet, and then, then whatever magical training the company has done. But I don't know. I mean, but you're going to get a pretty decent answer out of that, depending on what you're looking for. And then it may help with whatever the goal is. But yeah, I don't know. It's getting close. Like, if I had more resources, I would definitely be trying more stuff. As far as, like, I think there's a way to be able to pretty much trust the AI to vibe most of the code. I mean, even now, supposedly OpenAI says they use GPT for a majority of their coding. It does a vast majority of its own changes and stuff. So with the proper flow, I think it actually could work pretty well, which would be huge. But in the meantime, it also doesn't hurt to actually, like, learn how to do some of this coding myself, or not learn, but, like, actually do some of the coding myself and learn React Native, I guess, is really what I was avoiding. I understood it, like, conceptually, but, like, was lacking the experience because I haven't really been paying a super ton of attention. I've just been like, yeah, this seems good, following off of general sense. So anyway, yeah, man, I don't know. It'd just be fun to have, like, a platform that you could chat with all these things at once and, like, interchange them. I mean, really, it felt a lot like the corporate life, where, like, I basically would just live on Slack and have just different channels and different chat groups going on. And that was pretty much all I did all day. It was either be in a meeting or be chatting on Slack while I tried to work on something at the same time. So having these AI models just, like, hanging out in a chat is probably the best way to go. I mean, a custom interface would be super useful. It'd be super, super helpful. Just to be able to, I don't know, interact with things like that. But, I feel like a lot of this can be accomplished through just existing tools. So, like, connecting the bots to Slack, or connecting some sort of funnel through Slack, or in this case, like, what's it called? Telegram. It's just super easy to set up a bot. So that's why I think it's gotten really popular lately, because you can go set up a bot. I mean, I have multiple videos on connecting an innate AI bot to Telegram on this YouTube channel, just because of that, because it's super easy to get started with Telegram bots. Connecting to Slack is a little bit more work. Got to set up some integration stuff, and then you'd have to integrate this system, basically funnel this all into an endpoint, I guess. So it wouldn't be too much different than have like basically one big gateway that would handle the facilitating the message back to the messenger. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have all of this kind of streamlined, because I am usually chatting with GPT and Gemini and Cursor and sometimes Perplexity at the same time. So having it all in one interface would be pretty cool. Yeah, again, the only thing is cost, but cost wise, I guess it's really not too bad. Again, if you're like 4.1 is $2, 03 is cheaper. 03 is cheaper than it. Let me go back. Oops. $03, yeah, it's $2. Yeah, GPT-01 and or 4.1 and 03 are the same cost, which is crazy. 4.0 is actually more expensive, which kind of doesn't make sense. I guess it's just because it's a legacy model. It hasn't been re-optimized to be cheaper, but it does handle like everything. So I guess there's something to be said for that too. If I created, what was that? If I turn back time. If I created a I created a website with this many problems. If I created a sandwich for you, I guess, like, what would the pricing look like for an innate automation that that calls O3, I guess it should know what O3 is, right? GPT-O3, GPT 4.1, Gemini Pro 2.5, Perplexity. I don't know. I mean, and then maybe Claude, I guess, just because it's one of the top ones. I haven't been using a lot of Claude lately, but it's sure in Claude Opus. What would that look like in terms of cost if I wanted to send all models or all AIs message at the same time to have them research a question and then one model summarize the answer all of the different results. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Probably not as well stated as it could have been, but let's start. And it ends $20 a month. Yeah, sure. GPT. Where's okay. Oh, that's like GPT-3. O3 is $1 per 1K. So $4 per output. Okay. $2 per input, $8 per output. No, that's not. That's a million, not 1,000. And then these numbers are not right. There we go. Yeah, okay. I thought Gemini Pro was like. I think it depends on what you're doing. So Gemini Pro can be anywhere from $1 to $250 per million tokens. Perplexity, I don't know what that is because it's kind of based on like the API you're using with it, or the model that you end up using with it. Because I think you can change models on Perplexity, which is kind of nice. And then Claude. Okay, Opus is $15. Okay, so it's not not anywhere near the GPT 4.5, but it's not cheap. It's like 10x. So assuming each input per token per model, a decent chunk for research. Let's do correction. O3 and 4.1 are $2 per million, not 1,000. There we go. $1,000 tokens and 1,000 tokens out, about less than 2 cents per input, less than 8 cents per output. So about 1 cent per 1,000 in per out. I don't know. I was just trying to think like mathematically, I guess. If you're getting results that are worthwhile, then it's probably worth it. Like if the time in versus time out. It's weird to think like, oh, I mean, I guess it's just like a weird contrast of using something for free versus having to pay for it. Now that I have to pay, you had to pay someone every time you sent them a Slack message. You probably send a lot less Slack messages. So I guess that's kind of what's happening here. But I guess if you look at it from like a business level, it's like, well, that person's being paid a salary, so you essentially could look at that as well. If you're hiring these AIs to chat with them and roughly think about it as like as a salary kind of situation, then it kind of changes the perspective a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like this isn't something I see very much of. Or like, yeah, I mean, everybody's like, oh, you got to use like this model or that model. Oh, I was going to actually include Grok in here too. Grok would be good too. What's Grok's Grok API? Grok 3 API pricing. Models and pricing. Oh boy, I can feel some sluggishness on my laptop while I'm running all this video. Okay, $3 per million. Okay, so it's a little bit higher. I mean, Grok 3, yeah, same deal. Grok 3 Mini. I mean, and then you could use a Mini or something like that to like do the summarization if you don't need it to do any evaluation. So you can make it pretty cheap. Grok 4 information for users. Moving from 3 to 4 Mini or Grok 4. Please note the following differences. Yeah, Grok is a reasoning model, so there's no reasoning model in. Oh, whoa. So Grok 4 is always reasoning. So presence penalty and frequency penalty and stop parameters are not supported. Yeah, sure, because it's reasoning. It does not have a reasoning effort parameter. Right. It's just always going to reason. So live search. Whoa. $25 for 1,000 resources used. Okay. So 2 cents per resource. Interesting. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to that too much. I mean, Perplexity tends to use, I don't know, like 10 to 15. Like, yeah, okay. Maybe like 7-ish. No, 10 sources. Okay. What was this one? 20 sources. Yeah. So it just kind of depends, I guess. The initial search, it probably does a bunch. So, and I feel like I've seen Google do one time. I think it had, depending on what you're asking for, I think when I asked it to do research, it came back with like 15 sources. So that, yeah, I'm sure that can vary, but 2 cents per source. So 30 cents. That's not terrible. Not terrible. No access to real-time events without live search. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, right. That would make sense. Like it's a pre-trained model, so it obviously can't have live data without live search. Chat models. No role order limitation. You can mix system user or system roles in any sequence. Yeah, that's nice. That's kind of annoying. I don't think that's really a thing anymore as far as like, oh, system versus user versus assistant. It's kind of like old school at this point. Image input models. You can do 20 meg image. That's not bad. That's pretty good size. And you can do as many images as you want. That's a lot of images. JPEG and PNG. Knowledge cutoff are November 2024. Nice. So that would be another one to add to the mix. I mean, that's where it's like, I mean, kind of getting the average of the average. But I don't know. It's just kind of cool. It's like, why don't you have all these resources here? You might as well take advantage of. I mean, I got to think that's literally the name of one of them. Mixture of experts. Mixtral is whatever. I guess a mixture of experts is like the model strategy. And then Mistral's model took the mixture of experts to create Mixtral. But anyway, this doesn't include all of those. So it's just like, I don't know, rather than like marrying to one model, these are always changing. So like if you just had kind of a flow like this, where you just kind of swap in and out, like grab connect to the new one. And then, now you're chatting with that one, get that one's input on top of the other ones, and then use that to kind of like get an answer from everybody. I don't know. Potentially really powerful is just like very expensive potentially if you're chatting with that a lot. So that's all. But I think it would definitely have its use cases. I think it's definitely going to be something I will probably use in the future as like I don't know. You have like all these experts on stuff that any kind of question you need for business or whatever, you can probably go to that and get like a decent answer, and then decide if you need like a real expert after that. But it's getting pretty good. Oh man, but yeah, I think it's just going to be kind of a short stream today, as I'm clearly sitting here a little bit unfocused and kind of rambling. But just wanted to get back on track. Day 0 for streaming. I don't want to do every day, but I figured like if I can do 4 to 5 days a week, that'd be great. So I was hoping to at least get Monday through Thursday, maybe Friday too, just to kind of start again getting the ultimate system of feeding in stream to content. I think I still got that here. So yeah, live stream content system. Oh yeah, I guess now I got things to do. I can double check the YouTube channel. Hey, all right, 82. It's getting close. We're getting close to 800. 9 views on the on the live stream. Oh no, issues with ad revenue metrics. That, oh man, definitely struggling today. That was what I was like going to come back on here and answer some questions. So got a few minutes left. Maybe I'll hop over and do that real quick. So let's see. Most of these have been replied to. So would love to see sheets. Quick schedule social media from Google Sheets within 810. I'd love to see a Sheets. Oh, Sheets to X. Got it. Let's see. Yeah. Been meaning to look into connecting other social media platforms. See if there's an easy way. I think Blotato is one that I've seen lately, and then there's another one that I just saw the other day for connecting to social media, basically like Buffer. So yeah, I definitely want to get that going because like that would be nice. Because otherwise, like I've set up an X chat bot or an X bot before, but like it's kind of a pain. So you have to go through like the whole app registration process and all that, and it's a lot easier if you can just like auth your way in through another app. So nice, managed to do that successfully. Let me just say if there's anything else you want to see. Glad to hear it worked. Cool. And then cool video. Did everything in the video. Shorts are loaded, but the title and description are not. Tell me what could be wrong. That one did everything as in the video. The shorts are loaded. The title and description are not. Interesting. So I forget exactly what's going on in that workflow. I'll probably have to go back and double check. Stable YouTube uploads with HTTP requests. So I think it was just pulling that from a Google Sheet. So I know that one is a little weird because with YouTube, calling the YouTube API directly, you have to kind of set up two different things. Where you have to first establish that you're going to upload a video. So you call like one to create the video connection, and then you send. I think you basically create the video metadata record first, and then you end up sending the video file after that. So it like needs that connection first to be like, okay, this is where the video is going, and then it'll let you send the video to that spot. So I forget exactly how that flow worked though. I'll have to take a look. So I will definitely look at that one and see what's going on. See what these answers are. Probably pretty good. Make sure you're setting all the fields in the HTTP request node. Or make sure the data that you're sending to YouTube is formatted correctly and all the parameters. Yeah, I mean, it's not far off probably from what the actual answer is. So that's pretty funny. But cool. I'm glad that I was not expecting much traffic off of the live streams. Live streams are just a different beast entirely. So that I think they kind of get buried in the channel. That's why I was gonna like repurpose them into like a main YouTube videos. But glad that it's like doing something. Yeah, it's got its own category. So, but yeah, I'm gonna. Oh wow, okay, they actually got some views. Weird. Probably not. So supposedly it's not supposed to like tank your statistics because view time on a stream is going to be a lot less than like an actual video, most likely. But I don't know. I guess you never know. If you're doing a good enough stream, like then maybe not. So that would also be one of the goals. Make these streams a little more engaging. But early days. We got time, plenty of time to readjust. All right. So a couple people on Twitch. Appreciate the views. And yeah, I mean, I think I might call this one. Like I said, I'm gonna go work on the system for this one. I think for sure to try to start transcribing these streams. I'm not sure why it wasn't working yesterday, so I want to figure that, or 2 days ago. So I want to figure that out because that would be great. Like getting that system back up and running, because I kind of started to, and I guess not. I think I did it once. I was doing some streaming last year. I streamed some Satisfactory. Satisfactory finally had like its 1.0 update, so I streamed that for like a month. So I had like a ton of streaming content there. So kind of had a similar idea then, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to take all these streams and turn it into social media content, and kind of fell behind, got a little distracted. But yeah, so I think now I'm going to kind of refocus that to this, where it's like, hey, I'm already talking about automation stuff anyway, so I'm going to build an automation workflow that can do that for you, and then kind of document in public what the whole process is. So while also working on vibe coding an app. So maybe not fully vibe coding, but vibe coding a lot. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. That's the goal, slowly but surely. And days without incident. So I missed a day, but that's okay. It's, that's going to happen. Got to get back on the horse the next day. So hopefully I won't have too much of a crunch time. I mean, in tech, there's basically always crunch time and deadlines and all that stuff. So that's going to be inevitable, but going to miss a day in here and there if the app takes the priority. So that's just where things are at. So yeah, hate to stop it's usually how it goes. Like first hour in, there's not much going on. And then usually by like hour 2, I'm like, okay, like going to call it. And then that's when all the traffic starts coming in. But all the algorithms start warming up to you. But yeah, maybe probably be on early tomorrow, just to kind of keep things going again. And that's going to be it for now. So I'm going to go work on some other automation stuff and try to get actually an actual YouTube video up later today as well, and get some app work done, and maybe get a nap. So that's the plan. But yeah, thanks for stopping by if you did watch. And I definitely appreciate it. Try to be on again tomorrow morning, and then next week we'll be back at it. So thanks again. We'll catch everybody later.